Good morning. This is Kula Dula from Option Scalps, and this is our pre-market um, morning show. So we are taking a look at a couple different things today. Kind of watching this wedge breakout today. Yesterday we talked about the potential for maybe a open and then a drop down to around this 542 range, and then look for it to top out near 547 yesterday. Almost exactly what we thought. Our team didn't capitalize on it solely because I thought we could potentially drop a little bit further. We were looking to target right at 542, but neither here or there. I wasn't feeling that great yesterday, and it does seem that yesterday's price action was kind of trapped. And so I didn't really want to trade it too much, or I thought it would be a lot more tighter than this. Let's put it that way. But anyways, today we are looking at a potential push into a little bit higher today. I think 550 has the opportunity to get tested today. I don't know if we'll be able to make it over 550, and if my guess is accurate, I think the max we could see today is 551.58. I don't believe we'll get any higher than that. If we're being honest here and we're watching this wedge, though, I would take a look at it and say that we have more of a potential for something like this than we would for this thing to just rocket up here. Okay. Um, 550 is going to be a big gamma wall for us, which is right here in this level. I think that we do find ourselves kind of breaking out from here and then potentially just kind of isolating the range for a little bit. And then we'll probably find ourselves maybe retesting. It would either happen earlier, retest this, close this gap, kind of in line with this gap fill to find a trend bounce confirmation. I think that's a possibility today. I think also that if we do see some type of major breakdown, that that is probably something we need to at least chase. And if we get underneath this trend here, we'd probably be targeting around 545. So keep an eye on that. I think 545, if on some type of major breakdown, would be our target, at least our first target. And maybe from there we could find ourselves bouncing, but it's going to be really hard for me. So 545 is kind of the target for the downside if we break below this wedge. At that point, you're going to see some type of bullish move for the upside before you want to go ahead and buy. But that is definitely going to be kind of what we're looking for today on SPY. It could be a really boring day today. I talked about a potential reversal for our harmonic, which would likely put us near a close below yesterday, right? So maybe we do get a 545 close today. I think it's definitely a possibility for us to print our harmonic, which virtually would have us fading down. Sorry, it's daily. Track's weird. So that's 545 could be the highest on the low side. Um, Let me correct myself. Um, we could close all the way down around that 542 area. So maybe that's a possibility too, that we do run all the way back down and look to run at maybe a close near there for the harmonic print. Tomorrow is going to be CPI, so you do need to keep an eye on that. If we do pull back, it wouldn't be a surprise to also jet tomorrow. So what do I mean by that? That we could potentially move back down in this range, and then we make our double bottom for that move into 550 to tomorrow. So keep an eye on that. We'll see what happens, but watch for some type of reversal potentially around that 550 area. Highest I do see us today is 551. Um, at the very, very max, 553. Let's take a look at Tesla real quick. Tesla is opening at 220. Yesterday I did say that 220 was probably the highest that we'd see. I said after a big sell like that, you're not going to get many people to commit over 220. We virtually stopped ourselves at 219.87 yesterday, and we never saw the top, never saw that range again. I think today, if we do find ourselves breaking out from this level right here, if we do find ourselves breaking out, I think it could definitely go all the way back up to 230. But I do find that 230 is going to be a pretty big wall. So you might find us kind of, let me reshape this. You might find us kind of doing one of these right here, okay? And then people will be calling out the cup and handle break and looking for it to push to 235 plus. I don't think Tesla will make it over 230 unless the market goes bananas. So if we do see that start to move that direction, you definitely do need to keep an eye on it. Start talking about moving averages. Yesterday it did hold the daily 20 SMA, which was right there stacked at 213, and it held the daily 20. So today, 223, 223.54 is going to be the daily 50. That's probably going to rise a little bit once we open, but right in that range at 223, 224 areas where you need to be looking for that test. In addition to that, I would watch this level here at 223.49. It's kind of a stacked level there. Keep an eye on that range to be tested today. Wouldn't surprise me one bit to say that maybe we break out from here and test this swing low right here at 225 and see if it wants to find itself breaking over the top of that. But that would be my first guess. If we hold this 220 area, watch for it to push up here. If it doesn't hold 220, then we're looking for a potential revisit into this 215 area, to right around this 215 area. I think this will hold, moving forward. I think 215 will hold, but we are approaching, like I said, some moving averages. This is the volume weighted 20 here. I use the volume weighted for trend based stuff. Addition to that, this is a head and shoulders look. So if you wanted to potentially look for, or if this thing does start breaking down, I would look for the gap fill near 210 and potentially into 206 if you do see this start breaking down. So virtually, if you're below, say, if you get below, say, 215.40, then watch for the gap fill down here at 210, and then potentially even watch this thing roll down to 206. But I'm favoring more so the visit to 225 today and potentially up to 230. If we do get to 230, though, it'd probably be another good short, looking for this thing to either sputter out or maybe get some type of reclaim confirmation. So keep an eye on that. NVDA, we were talking about this short here. We're going to get blown out of this short. We already took profits on this yesterday. This is the one trade we took yesterday, and we did get the first price target, but it did not get the second price target. But we were already out of that trade because of a shakeout. But today we are seeing a breakout up into that range, that 107 range. I talked about this yesterday, where I thought NVIDIA would make it into potentially into that 109, 110 area. I think that's going to be the same thing today. Watch for 108.18 to be struck, and then potentially find ourselves making our way up to that 109, 110 area. And at that point, I think you're going to find a sell, and we're going to roll probably back down into this range, this 108 area, 107 area, and then maybe we find another bounce. But keep an eye on this trend line right here. So that would be virtually that we open, we push up here, and then we find ourselves sinking today into this trend line, and then maybe leaving something like this. And for us to open with CPI tomorrow, that would probably give us the open over 110, or subsequently leave us at an open near 105. we're deep under the daily 20 here. If we're being honest, let's pull this up on the. If we're being honest, this shows little life, right? A little life here. But any type of bounce out of here is going to test the moving averages. If you reclaim those moving averages, you're going to be, testing this range right here. So keep an eye on this as a potential breakout candidate. I posted yesterday at close, or 15 minutes prior to close. We did see a big print on NVDA for October 4th calls. There are 110 calls, so they're in the money. I think what they're doing is they're looking for this thing to rebound off of this range and maybe revisit this consolidation area. We haven't quite hit the bottom on my swing meter, but it doesn't mean that we can't bounce out of there. So you need to keep an eye on that moving forward. And the last thing I want to look at is the Qs here. The Qs are finding themselves a potential revisit into this block today. I think that's more than likely that we find ourselves pushing into 458 and 460 today based on the daily. So let's keep an eye on this. I think this is probably your highest accuracy trade here for the day is the Qs. It doesn't quite hit our strategy, but I do find ourselves very likely to test this breakdown here at 457.74. So keep an eye on this to hold 455.46. If it does hold this area and gain a little bit of momentum, then I would look for this thing to revisit 457.74, and that would be your almost, I'm not going to say guaranteed, but this would be your bunt, so to speak, right? So a lot of times when we do see this pattern right here, we do find ourselves either ripping back down and then trying to make that move. So today I want to put everybody on alert that we do feel that it's going to be a down day, so a negative close from yesterday in most cases. So looking at it, it doesn't look as if the Qs is ready to break out because Google is just getting murdered. They took a lot. It took a lot on Google. As you can see, Google has just been absolutely getting murdered. I do find that Google's probably going to retest this 152 range and potentially up to 154, 155. But it's not going to come easy, and it is going to likely be a grind. Don't think that Google will be one directional today. Okay, so we've covered SPY, we've covered NVIDIA, the Qs, and Tesla today. If you guys want to see a different ticker covered on the morning show, then I will take those in the comments. So please, in the future, interact with this stream and make sure you're going on the comment section. Oh, I got one person already doing it. So I'll cover Amazon real quick. Amazon's nice consolidation day yesterday with a break up to this range. For me, I would really look for this thing to potentially strike into this 178, even if it does make it into this 179 area. Off of this open, it's definitely favors a short, looking for potentially a move over this, and then looking for this to favor some type of confirmation. So maybe something like this, where you see this try to go, or you're going to see this thing sink back down to 173. But I do find that Amazon has been one of the stronger in regards to the Mag 7. Oh, I didn't do my Mag 7. I'll do the Mag 7. So we are over our daily 20 now. You need to keep an eye on this thing to press into, like I said, into that 179 area, and then you might see some type of reversal off of that. But it is showing some decent strength in the volume weighted 20 here on the daily, and potentially a breakout from this little wedge that is created. So I am bullish on that to that 180 area, 179 area. But you do need to be very cautious that there could be, with the market being, we think the market's going to be negative today. Post a red day. How significant red? I'm not sure. So either watch out for a early morning push, and then potentially see a fade in the second part of the day. So let me pull up the Mag 7 real quick. Mag 7 still in this wedge here. I talked about this, where that we likely see this thing kind of come down in this range, and potentially make its move, and then we see this. And I think this right here, like I said, could be the end of the day type of deal and set us up for a move like that, or with CPI tomorrow, or we're going to be hunting these levels down here on the Mag 7. So, but I do find that this is our more likely event. This is why I do think that we'll find ourselves moving down some point today, whether that's early morning or if we find ourselves doing a PM flush. So just know that there's money to be made today. I think there's going to be some volatility. And yeah, until next time, we'll catch you later.